So, you know how some people will say things like, Pierre Poilievre's been a politician for 20 years and he's done nothing? Well, this lady here, she made a TikTok video and she kind of explained how that is just complete nonsense. So we're going to have a look at this. It's just a few minutes long, and then we'll talk about it after, like usual. Now, before we get into this, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help grow the channel, and I appreciate you guys so much for doing that for me. So, without further ado, let's take a look, and then we'll talk about it.
People love to say that Pierre has been in politics for 20 years and has not done anything. This is factually wrong. I'm not sure if you guys understand what the job description is of the leader of the opposition, but even prior to being the leader of the opposition, he was very good at his job. Let's take a look. Pierre helped bring one of the biggest anti-corporation laws in Canadian history. This is now called the Federal Accountability Act. He also passed the Fair Elections Act. He also pushed the Pension Protection Act, which the Liberals voted no on. They basically said, screw you and your pension. Pierre wanted it so if companies went bankrupt, your pension wasn't affected. So if you worked at that bingo hall for 35 years of your life and they go bankrupt, there goes your pension as well. When he was the Secretary of Finance...
Interesting though, right? Because I've heard a lot of Liberals say that Pierre Poilievre has never voted to pass any bill. Meanwhile, when I ask the question, or the follow-up question of those people when they say things like that, I say, did you really go to the House of Commons archives and look up every single bill in the past 20 years and check whether he voted yes or no? I bet you didn't. You just Googled it, or you went to imright.com, which is probably some liberal bias that you've heard, and then you like what it said and decided, yay, that's the truth. Pierre's never voted for anything, which means what you're also saying is that under the first 10 years of him being a politician, a member of Parliament, those first 10 years were under Stephen Harper, a conservative prime minister. Are you telling me that Pierre Poilievre voted no on every single thing that Stephen Harper wanted to pass? You understand how silly that sounds, right? I know you don't, because you're liberal. And you live in a fairy tale where things that don't make sense really do make sense. Who needs logic? Who needs common sense when you've got a liberal brain?
He created the TFSA, so it was easier for you to save. You know? What the Liberal government do? Make your gas a chocolate bar a liter. The goal of the leader of the opposition is, for one, to hold the current government accountable. His number one duty is to scrutinize, to question, and to challenge the Prime Minister. You can look this up on the House of Commons. This is the job definition of the leader of the opposition. The leader of the opposition is also called to expose government failures, waste, corruption. Sitting there saying, oh, all Pierre does is argue and he doesn't want to work with the Liberal government. His literal job description is not to do that. The fourth responsibility on the job description of the leader of the opposition is to debate and vote on legislation. That being said, as his time as the leader of the opposition, he was able to expose the We Care charity scandal. He fought back against Bill C-10, which censored our media. It was a huge censorship bill. He exposed the SNC-Lavalin scandal. He forced an audit on COVID spending, which later then uncovered billions of dollars, $7 billion in waste and overspending. He also exposed McKinley's contracts.
He's also exposed Bill C-63 as well, Bill C-5. He's exposed a lot of things, and again, that's his job. The leader of the official opposition is not to sit around and be a nice guy and go, good job, Liberals, go get him, you're doing great, you're so patriotic. No, his job is to say, hey, look, this is wrong what you're doing. If it is wrong what they're doing, and if you look at the past 10 years, a lot has gone wrong, so Pierre's got a lot to say. And if you think he's already said a lot, just wait, because in 2 weeks, they return to Parliament, and we're going to have a question period, and boy, oh boy, Mark-Carney's going to have a really rough time.
Ballooned from 2 million to 66 million, and wasn't disclosed. He brought forward the Build Homes and Bureaucracy Act. Because the leader of the opposition's job is not to flood the House of Commons with bills that he knows that they're not going to pass. The Liberals aren't going to pass a conservative bill. It will not happen. His job is to hold the current government accountable. And anybody who knows politics would know what the leader of the opposition's job is to do. Let's take a look at all the Liberal members who have been sitting in the House of Commons for more than 10 years who have not done anything. Should be really fun because I'm really bad at pronouncing names. Kyle Seaback, Adam Vaughan, Fort York, never done anything. Not a bill, not a petition, nothing. Jim Carr, Anita, the member for Ottawa, Lee DeBruschen, Chardit Carfadar, Brampton Centre, never done nothing. Julie Green from NWT, never done nothing.
Yeah, so there's a lot of names that none of you have even heard of. I haven't either, because they don't do anything. Well, again, this is just more confession by projection. When they say that Pierre's not doing something or he does nothing, they're talking about their own members of parliament on the Liberal side. That's what they mean. It's all they do. Every time they criticize the Conservatives or Pierre Poilievre, Pierre's going to do this. He's going to give away our country. He's going to be soft on Donald Trump. Elbows up, that was their whole campaign slogan, which, after saying for years how much they hate slogans, they then come up with their own. Again, it's all ass backwards. That's all that party does. Pierre's going to be soft on Trump. We're going to put our elbows up. And how is that going so far? The Crown Royal bottling plant leaving to go to the United States, and other companies are sure to follow. Departments of companies are leaving. And guess where they're going? The United States. And what does markcarney have? Well, hey, I went to Europe and got a bunch of letters of intent, or I think we're going to work together in the future. And then I build an office so we can talk about projects after saying these would be done at lightning speed in which we've never seen before. And here we are. We're on month number 6, if you count back to March. What have they done? No trade deal. But they did go on a nice, lengthy vacation on our dime. And they'll complain that, well, Pierre actually cost us $18,000 a day. Look how much we've sent to other countries. How much does that cost a day? Do that math. Then let me know how upset you are about spending. Liberals of all people complaining about spending. It's a joke. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Liberalism, modern liberalism, is not an ideology. It is a mental illness. They say the Conservatives have gone far right. Well, guess what? When you go so far left, everyone who isn't far left is far right to you because you're so far gone. They're so far left, they're about to fall off a cliff. But then again, why would they change? They keep winning elections. But we have to make sure that changes. So please like, please subscribe, please share this video, especially to young people or people you know who don't vote, who think that the Liberals and the Conservatives are the exact same thing. Show them these videos, show them other creators, and they will find out very quickly that Pierre Poilievre is nothing like Justin Trudeau, nothing like Mark Carney, and that he's the man for the job.